Greetings, citizens of the internet. You can call me Nitro Indigo, and today I'll be rambling about Spirit Tracks. You see, a while ago, not really recently in fact, I made this video where I asked if people would want to watch a series where I ramble about things. I was expecting to get a response, but unfortunately I didn't actually get any. So I suppose I should start this series off with me rambling about Spirit Tracks. Oh, The Legend of Zelda Spirit Tracks. Oh, sorry. You are a game I have thought a lot about, but at the same time, I just don't really feel like I have anything to contribute to it, because I suppose I should start from the top. So, in late 2011, I was too scared to play a Zelda game. I had both the Minish Cap and Four Swords 25th Anniversary Edition on my 3DS, but I just couldn't bring myself to touch either of them. I guess it's because I thought that Zelda was some big epic franchise that I just wasn't ready for. And then I wanted to get Spirit Tracks, but I was just too scared to for some reason. So I spent the next few months finding all the spoilers on the internet by reading the comments on videos and music for it, but I didn't want to search the game either, so instead I just found it through related videos on YouTube, of course. And eventually I just found out all the spoilers, and that was only further helped by Zelda Wiki, which I read like basically every article on and spoiled basically every Zelda game, so that nothing in Zelda's ever really surprised me. And that's a shame, because it feels like I don't like Zelda as much as I could, because I just don't have any emotional attachment to the events of the actual game, since I knew what was going to happen anyway. And like Spirit Tracks, for example, it's a game I've thought a lot about, and I want to find something I can analyse and contribute to the fandom, but because I just haven't really have any emotional attachment to it because of surprises and all that, well, no surprises even, I just can't find anything to say. And I will happily look up anything Spirit Tracks related that I can find and happily watch it or look at it or whatever, but there just isn't that much stuff. A few days ago, I came to the realisation that Cars 2 has a bigger fanbase than Spirit Tracks. Please don't take this as an attack against the Cars fandom or anything. It's just that that movie doesn't exactly have the best reputation. At least the fans are nice. Oh, sorry, just thought Audacity crashed for a moment. And also, yeah, I remember back like in 2012 or so, or until actually a few years ago actually, I was really obsessed with that character, Burn Steven Bucky Grover, and it's kind of annoying the way I was obsessed with him, but oh well, we all regret things. It's all part of being a human being, and we can keep moving forwards. Like this is Meet the Robinsons or something. I'm not sure why I sung it to the tune of The Future's Arrived. And also, yeah, that brings me to something else. The localization of this game is kind of weird, because they're like two different English translations which are fairly similar, but except for the fact I just changed a few characters' names for no good reason, and I used the ones based on personal preference basically. So like Skeldritch is a cooler name than Catbone, but I like the names Burn and Staven equally, so I call him Staven, and I call the locations Realms, or Realms as I thought it was pronounced before I heard anyone say it, because in the European version they're all called lands, not lambs, except for the Dark Realm, which is the same in both versions. And also, here's an interesting thing I can say about this game actually. In the European version of the game, in the intro it says that they buried Meladus' spirit in a dark realm. And in the American version it says deep within the earth, and in the Japanese version it says something like within the dark of the earth or something. I can't remember off the top of my head. So, yeah. Oh, and I always forgot to mention that the aesthetics of this game are amazing. Like, okay, so maybe the actual graphics aren't good, but that's honestly the best the DS can do. In one issue of official Nintendo magazine, rest in peace, they joke that the graphics of Animal Crossing World look like they're made of shattered crisps. Or the character models do anyway. And that basically sums up most DS games that try to do 3D graphics. But the actual aesthetics are good, because it has like all these bright colours and these whole angular spirals. You'll know what I mean if you've seen the game's graphics. All I'm going to show is a still image of the European box art, because my voice is more important in this case. And also, as everyone who has played this game will tell you, regardless of their actual opinion on the whole thing, the music in this game is absolutely amazing, but unfortunately the only parts of this game that most people seem to remember are the only music in this game people seem to remember are the duet theme and the final boss theme and the overworld theme as well. Well, the final boss theme is a combination of the duet, which doesn't have a proper song name, it's just Link and Zelda's duet, or the sacred duet, even though it's played by like 7 people, because that tends to happen. Magic old people teleport into that weird pocket dimension. I don't understand that, actually. At the end of before the final battle, Link and Zelda just teleport into the milk dimension, I guess. The Gate of Truth and Fullmetal Alchemist, except not really, because the Gate of Truth isn't navy blue. They sing a song like in a Disney movie. And anyway, unfortunately, this game is only really remembered on a superficial level. Like, there's 3 tracks of music I mentioned before, and there's the fact that Zelda, quote-unquote, dies. You can't see it, but I did air quotes there, which people like to compare to Fullmetal Alchemist, which I was really obsessed with back in 2014, by the way. And that's really the only things people know about that game. And it's a shame, too, because there's just so much in this game, but people only seem to look at the superficial level. Maybe it's just because I don't really like many things that are super popular, except maybe Pokemon, but still. But it's just, I just don't like when people only seem to say the same few things about a given work of fiction. I mean, it's one thing to like have fun bashing something, but it's another thing to just not really know much about something and call it your favourite. Or, well, you probably do know a lot about something if you call it your favourite, but just not talk about it much. And speaking of which, yeah, Spirit Tracks has probably got to be one of the most divisive Zelda games, because, like, one half of the fanbase thinks, oh my gosh, this is one of the best games on DS, and it's so cute, aww. And then the other half of the fanbase like, this is the worst Zelda game ever, use flames to burn. And I've legitimately seen people call this game an abomination. Go dig up this worst Zelda games thread from Zelda Universe a long time ago, like 2013-ish, I'd say, to see what I mean. And unfortunately, Nintendo doesn't really acknowledge it either beyond this superficial level I mentioned before, like, oh my gosh, Zelda can go into the tin suits, soup tins, the phantoms, I'm going to call them soup tins because it's funny. And that's basically Hyrule Warriors, and Hyrule Warriors, that was an odd way to emphasise it. And I was kind of hoping to see Staven, or Burned Staven, Bucky Groval, or whatever, in that game. And I suppose I should end this ramble by comparing it to an episode of the Zelda cartoon. The 12th episode of the Zelda cartoon, The Missing Link, which is specifically one of my guilty pleasures, not the whole cartoon, because I haven't really watched many other episodes of it, of all 13 of them. Basically, Link gets his body accidentally taken away, and Zelda is the only one who can see him. Dun dun dun! And that is all. See you another time, my faithful audience.